Imagine that in the middle of a peaceful morning, the sky turns into a battlefield, without warning, without logic, without explanation. Enormous fiery spheres, flying cylinders, and unidentified craft collide, explode, and vanish before the eyes of stunned witnesses. No, we're not talking about science fiction, nor modern UFO reports. These are real events recorded over 400 years ago. In just one century during the Middle Ages, Europe witnessed 4 nearly unbelievable celestial incidents. What connects them? A striking similarity to today's descriptions of UFOs. Did our ancestors witness conflicts between civilizations that we still do not understand? This is a journey through forgotten records and ancient testimonies that Time Compass brings to light. Nuremberg, 1561. A heavenly battle above the city. On April 14th, 1561, between 4 and 5 in the morning, the citizens of Nuremberg were awakened in panic. The sky above the city transformed into a literal battlefield. Huge red semicircular forms appeared next to the sun, and dozens of glowing spheres, red, black, and blue, were joined by cylindrical and disc-shaped objects. They moved at high speeds, collided, and fell from the sky in smoke and fire. Some disintegrated in the sky, while others disappeared in the distance. The citizens, terrified, rushed out of their homes, desperately trying to make sense of a sight that posed more questions than answers. For illiterate people of that time, what they saw in the sky was beyond their comprehension. Imagine the whole sky lighting up in flames, almost like a scene from a Star Wars movie. Except this wasn't fiction. It was their now, their reality. How did such events affect the psyche of people in the Middle Ages, when it was difficult to distinguish between reality and signs of divine wrath or apocalypse? Oral traditions and church prayers for protection could not remove the panic and disbelief that lasted for days. Even today, the question remains, how did those witnesses, in this shocking, mysterious reality, influence the shaping of their faith and psychological state? The account of the event was preserved in a woodcut by Hans Glaser, a printer and chronicler from Nuremberg who was known for recording important social and natural phenomena of his time. His depiction carefully illustrates the unusual shapes seen in the sky and transmits the testimonies of citizens. Today, this document is kept in the Central Library in Zurich and is frequently studied as one of the earliest written records of unexplained celestial phenomena. In contemporary analysis, particularly within ufology, this event is often cited as an early example of a mass UFO sighting. Witnesses described shapes resembling today's reports of cigar-shaped and tic-tac spheres seen worldwide. Some researchers suggest that the battle described may have been a conflict of unidentified flying objects. However, the most intriguing of modern hypotheses raises the question, could this have been a conflict between alien races for dominance over Earth? Basel, 1566. Black spheres in a celestial conflict. Just a few years after the event in Nuremberg, another unusual celestial phenomenon was recorded in Basel, causing panic and concern among the population. This event took place between August 7th and 8th, 1566, at dawn when the citizens of Basel noticed black spherical shapes flying across the sky in various directions. Witnesses described the objects moving in formations, forming lines and columns, occasionally colliding in spectacular flashes of light and loud explosions. The phenomenon lasted for several days, further increasing fear among the citizens. Given the event's timing, during a period of great religious and political turbulence, many believed it was a sign of divine wrath or a symbolic moment in history. This spectacle in the sky prompted numerous questions among the population, and many of the stories circulating around Basel mentioned light shooters reportedly emerging from the spheres before they vanished from the sky. Some witnesses claimed that the spheres resembled giant solar disks, while others mentioned changes in their colors during movement. According to some sources, the light effects resembled electrical discharges, which further contributed to the confusion and fear among those who witnessed it. Citizens fled from open spaces and gathered with their families, praying for salvation. In the general panic and fear, many interpreted this as a sign of an impending celestial war or the end of the world. The story of this unusual phenomenon quickly spread and gained wide media attention, and at that time a pamphlet was printed detailing the event, with illustrations of the strange shapes seen in the sky. This pamphlet soon became a subject of discussion among local intellectuals and clergymen. Today, a copy of this pamphlet is housed in the Swiss National Museum in Zurich, and the event is considered one of the most interesting in the history of unexplained phenomena. Berkshire, England, 1661. Crosses and Shadows. On the Sunday on June 29, 1661, the residents of eastern Berkshire noticed dark shapes moving across the sunlight. Shadows in the shape of crosses appeared in the sky, floating silently with no visible source and no known explanation. The event caused fear and a quiet chill among the witnesses. People said they felt a weight in the air, while others claimed that the sun was temporarily completely obscured. Priests called for prayers, and in surrounding villages, stories about a divine warning circulated for days. This incident was recorded in the annual Mirabilis Annus Secundus of 1662, which was part of a series of publications about miraculous and unexplained events across Europe. Although the series had a sensationalist tone, it recorded eyewitness statements with unusual attention. Today, this event is viewed through the lens of optical phenomena, but also as a possible depiction of craft with advanced technologies that were incomprehensible at the time. The cross-shaped forms and shadows in modern interpretations are sometimes associated with stealth technology or invisible UFOs whose presence disrupts light patterns. Yet the question remains, were these optical illusions, religious symbols, or something much more concrete and unknown? Strawson, 1665. Flying ships and falling seagulls. In July 1665, fishermen near the coastal German city of Strawson saw a large, dark, round object hovering over the city. At the same time, seagulls began falling from the sky, dead. Witnesses reported a loud explosion like bang, and the object disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. The fishermen claimed that the flying ship had a mast and structures resembling wings, but it moved without wind. The population was paralyzed, and many said that the spirits of the sea had come to punish the town. This event was recorded in German chronicles and later analyzed by researcher Iloba Brunhagen. The most well-known source is a 1764 text published in a book on celestial signs titled Beschreibung wunderbarer Himmelszeichen. During the Middle Ages, the church paradigm dominated how people interpreted inexplicable phenomena. In a time of Christian expansion and the creation of the first book, the appearance of crosses in the sky and other celestial signs were often seen as divine signals or messages, which directly influenced the shaping of religious beliefs and interpretations. In this context, the heavens were seen as a space between worlds, where divine or demonological entities manifested, and light effects were often linked to biblical visions, further shaping religious narratives of the time. In contemporary theories, this event is often interpreted as an encounter with a large unidentified craft, whose influence was not only visual but physical. Particularly interesting is the phenomenon of mass bird deaths, which today is associated with electromagnetic waves, loud sonic booms, and the presence of craft that can severely affect the environment. It is known that birds navigate according to the Earth's magnetic fields, so it is hypothesized that the electromagnetic waves emitted by unidentified craft could have caused disorientation and mass mortality of these animals. Some ufologists suggest that this case is one of the first pieces of evidence linking the appearance of UFOs with physical consequences for the ecosystem, opening the possibility that encounters with these phenomena left long-term effects on nature. These are events for which we have evidence of the source, but how much more do we not know or is hidden or forgotten? Does history repeat itself? Today, we have a completely different framework for interpreting these phenomena. Modern reports of UFOs, such as tic-tac objects or cigars, often resemble the shapes described in the Middle Ages, but the interpretation of these occurrences is now shaped through the lens of ufology and science. Phenomena like glowing spheres or cross-shaped objects are often associated with possible extraterrestrial presence or advanced technologies that we still do not fully understand. Religious approaches to these phenomena interpret them as signs of demonic origin, while from a scientific perspective, they are often explained as UFO phenomena. Perhaps they are essentially the same occurrences, but one thing is certain: something happened, and something continues to happen that we still cannot concretely explain. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Time Compass channel.